Interesting news today from the New York Post of all places. Apparently, the president played golf all day long with Mayor Bloomberg a couple of days ago, and there's rumors that Mayor Bloomberg might replace Tim Geithner as Treasury Secretary. And now that would be very interesting.
It'd be very interesting. It'd be terrible for New York, but it would be very interesting. I think every time I go to New York, the town where I grew up, where you are right now, since Michael Bloomberg has become mayor, and it's not, it's not to be credited with every single ounce of credit. It's not only Michael Bloomberg, but the city is so much better than it was when I left it, and so he's been a very good mayor. But I suspect he'd also be a great Treasury Secretary. I don't know that he would like reporting to someone, though.
Yeah, here's the ups and downs of Bloomberg real quick. There's two massive ups and one down. Let me start with the downside. Look, he is very friendly with Wall Street in New York. He's the mayor of New York, so that makes some degree of sense. But also, he has made his fortune by selling Bloomberg terminals to Wall Street.
Yeah.
So
but
for him to turn around...
he is at such an untouchable level of wealth right now that I don't see him... He is beyond the kind of wealth that we're talking about. I don't see him being swayed by these sorts of things as much as others. And the other thing, that anyone who's going to be at the head of Treasury is going to have some relationship to the business community. It's, you're not going to get somebody who's confirmed by the Senate, who is appointed by a president, who is just not part of the business community to head Treasury.
Yes, I understand that. Some of the proof is in the pudding. He has been very soft and friendly to Wall Street so far in New York. But don't get me wrong, okay? That's a major downside. But I'm actually incredibly hopeful about Bloomberg. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm saying it's at least a possibility.
Yeah.
Because, one, his enormous upside is that he's strong. And he comes in, and if he thinks something's the right way to go, he just does it, and he doesn't give a damn what people think. So if the Wall Street bankers come to him and cry about, oh, no, you can't do this to us, Bloomberg will turn around and say, yes, I frickin' can, right? And he's not going to take any lip from them. And then, number two, his enormous advantage is that he's not Tim Geithner.
Oh, right. I mean, that's implicit in from where you're sitting. A couple of things on what you said. There's a real difference between the mayor of New York being cozy and coddling to Wall Street and the Treasury Secretary of the United States being cozy and coddling to Wall Street. The implications are very different for either one in either position. It would be...
Michael, that is 100% true.
Yeah.
And he even says, look, as the mayor of New York, Wall Street is important to our economy, which is absolutely right.
Yeah.
Right? Now, that gives him a different vantage point. As Treasury Secretary, he could go in a different direction if he does this. Now, look, I've always really liked Mike Bloomberg. He's one of my favorite politicians in the country. And I have this secret hope that he would be an FDR-like figure, that once he gets into a position of power, that as they called FDR at the time, the other upper-class people called him a traitor to his people, to his class, I should say.
Yeah.
Instead of traitor to his class. And Bloomberg is the kind of guy who could be tough and principled and say, no, I'm going to do right by the American people. I don't care what anybody says. So I'm hoping against hope. And by the way, don't miss the politics of this. Obama, if he's actually doing this, is incredibly smart to do it, because the one guy who can cause him real problems in 2012, if he ran as an independent, is Mike Bloomberg with his billions of dollars and his actual centrist credentials.
Right, or even in a primary challenge, and he's switching parties all the time and doing those things. I mean, there could be a primary challenge in Michael Bloomberg too.